So I was just talking on my other page, and I really started thinking, like just want to say thematically, but it's not thematically. Just I've come across new understanding in this breeding thing, right? In this bully thing. I no longer want to breed dogs that I have no idea what their genetic makeup is. I have a dog right now who is beautiful. He is, oh my gosh, he is a beautiful dog. So buff and boned up, nice rear, straight feet. Shit, if not straight, his feet kind of like almost go in, but you could tell that some puppies, like, you can look at and be like, their feet might bow out once they get past 16 weeks, XYZ weeks, right? But no, this puppy looks like, yeah, there ain't no way his feet is gonna be bad. There's no way. He's too tight in the front end. No diddy. That I just want to keep him so bad. I want to keep him so bad because I know for a fact that if he had a clear Embark, he would be a stud that people would run to, rush to. But I also realized, like, and trust me, this all revolves back in that it's just not my time to be at that position in my breeding career yet. Because I got his Embark back, and he is one of the dogs in the litter he's not at risk necessarily, or has any type of disease, but he is potentially later in his life at risk of developing some type of issue with his discs, similar to his great grandfather or whatever the case is. And this isn't a diagnosis. A vet hasn't diagnosed him with anything, but his genetic makeup. He has one copy of something on my Embark or on his Embark that's just, it isn't becoming. And me in my breeding career right now, I have the opportunity to do two things, right? I can say fuck that like everybody else does, and I can take them anyway, stud them out, never talk to people who ask for Embark, never talk about my Embark. I could never be honest or even consider worrying about Embark, because half these breeders, they look for studs and they never ask for Embark, ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. And when I began, I was the same way. I had no idea it existed. And even when I did know it existed, I didn't understand how important it was. You could have a stud that is the greatest looking stud of all time, but if he has two copies of this, two copies of that, one copy of that, and by copies, I mean like genetic DNA from the mom and the dad. If he has two copies of it, he's going to develop, or he's more likely to develop this problem. If he has one copy, he's just a carrier, and he could develop something, but he's a carrier. So 9 times out of 10, he won't. And I've realized that now. So now it seems so much worse to me. Like, what's the point of keeping an amazing stud if you're going to be making 1,000 offspring? So some of the greatest studs of all time have over 1,000 kids out there that are registered. Imagine how many dogs they have that aren't registered. But you know what I mean? Like, what is this dude doing? He's in my lane. I don't want to be that breeder. I don't want to have to worry about that. And if I keep this dog this generation, and I keep a daughter or sister this generation, now I got two dogs who have genetic potentialities for issues later down the line. And whenever they have babies, guess what? They have a 50% chance of passing it on, and another 50% chance of passing it on. Now I gotta hope that the dogs are like, excuse me, y'all, I'm tired. Now I gotta hope that the dog that I like from 2 years from now, in a breeding of 6 puppies, 3 puppies, hopefully I don't have another singleton because I've been through that. I gotta hope that one of those puppies out of that 50% chance is clear of all of the issues that both of their parents have genetically. Instead of right now just picking the puppy in this litter who is the clearest, if not clear, on all of not just bully relevant genetic health risks, all genetic health issues. And I just bite the bullet because it's a good bullet, like, to bite, because now after this generation, I picked the right dog. Even if the dog that I'm keeping isn't my favorite, isn't my pick, it's never been my pick, it's never been my keeper, even if that dog isn't the one that I wanted to keep based off phenotype, genotypically, the dog will be the dog that I need for my program. And that dog should go on to produce later in that 2-year span a whole litter of dogs that are clear, and I have a better chance of keeping a dog and picking a dog that I'm going to want to keep for my program and getting that stud that's going to make that difference that I'm talking about right now. You know what I mean? And I know that that's the very obviously clear choice, but I just want to document how I'm feeling in this moment. And I'm going to be very thankful that I did this later on and I made the right choice by picking the girl that I knew I needed to pick for my program. But it just sucks when you have that boy in your litter that's just immaculate looking. But under the hood, he's a pet, in all honesty. And even though he's a pet to me, to someone else, he might still be breed quality to them, based just off his phenotype. So yeah, it's just crazy how many people out here never consider that. They never consider even looking at Embark. So many people are looking for, oh, she's so small, he's so small, it's the smallest dog. Look how low to the ground that dog is. And they never ask for Embark. I can only imagine these hot studs out here, how many genetic issues they're passing on. Not just the breathing, not just things that we can see phenotypically, but the genetic stuff. What is under your dog's hood? You know, you got a muscle car with a freaking Honda engine. And don't get me wrong, them Honda engines last long, but it ain't beating no Mustang. It ain't beating no race car. It ain't beating no Maserati. It's just not. Like, under the hood, it might look good if you put some fenders on it, or if it just came out the shop, nice paint job, it might look great. But under that hood, what's under that hood? And what is it passing on to its offspring? The goal for me and the goal for everyone should be to outproduce, right? I produce puppies. I'm just not producing puppies that I love looking at. But now I need to produce puppies that are capable of outproducing themselves once they come of age. And if I can already see that genetically you're going to pass on some shit to your offspring, how can I expect you to outproduce yourself? That's an unrealistic expectation on my part. How can I expect the dog to outproduce themselves when I set them up for failure? Much better off doing pet homes. I'm much better off. And you know, that's going forward, that's M-Line's new camp. That's or new statement for our camp. We do shit the right way. $700 on Embarks for me to figure out how I'm about to lose money on this litter. And it's my fault entirely. Because if from the beginning I would have asked for these things and done things the right way, I could have picked a stud that didn't have these issues to pass these copies on to this beautiful boy that I have. Great dog still. Great temperament. Looks good. Moves fine. Happy. Curious. It's just genetically as a breeder, I want to breed better. And if I keep him, he'll look better than anything I've ever had, but he won't be better than anything I've ever had. So I don't know. What y'all think? What are y'all thoughts? You let me know how y'all feel about this scenario. I am going to go pick up some food for my grams, get my son, and get back to trying to slang these dogs. I got to get a litter of 6. I need 5 of them gone. So, deuce.